Seek nothing outside of yourself. There is no doubt that Miyamoto Musashi is one of the greatest samurai in history. His unparalleled achievements in swordsmanship weren't just a result of natural talent, but a testament to his unwavering discipline. Without discipline, one cannot truly excel, wrote Musashi, and his life exemplified this principle. His journey began at the young age of 13 when he won his first duel, marking the start of an undefeated streak that lasted through over 60 battles. Even in the modern day, his record stands as one of the most historic achievements of all time. But Musashi was more than just a master swordsman. He was also an artist and thinker, his life serving as a compelling example of how self-discipline can be a game changer. True mastery lies not in the ability to defeat others, but in the ability to transcend conflict altogether, said Musashi. He understood that discipline was not just about achieving success, but about cultivating inner strength and resilience. Without discipline, we're like rudderless ships, easily swayed by the currents of impulse and immediate gratification. Musashi saw self-discipline as more than a tool for achievement. It was a shield against suffering. When we are disciplined, we are better equipped to handle life's challenges and surprises. So with that in mind, in this video, we will explore Miyamoto Musashi's teachings for superior self-discipline and how they can be practically applied in our daily lives. Accept everything just the way it is. Miyamoto Musashi's life as a samurai was filled with uncertainties, from the outcomes of duels to the transient nature of his lifestyle. For him, acceptance wasn't a passive act, but a form of discipline. It meant acknowledging the reality of each moment, whether it was a life-threatening duel or a peaceful day of riding. This perception isn't just for samurai facing life or death situations. It's a principle that can be applied to the challenges we encounter every day, wrote Musashi. For example, imagine you're driving to an important meeting and your car suddenly breaks down. The immediate reaction for many of us might be to ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Or even to curse our bad luck, thereby adding unnecessary suffering to the situation. But what Musashi suggests is that instead of labeling the situation as bad and spiraling into frustration, a disciplined person sees it for what it is. The car stopped working and it needs fixing. The focus then quickly turns to finding solutions, like calling for a tow truck or notifying the people waiting for you and figuring out how to resolve the situation. This principle aligns closely with Stoic philosophy, which Epictetus encapsulated in his famous quote, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The idea is straightforward, yet profound. We may not have control over what happens to us, but we do have control over how we react. Musashi also offers a compelling perspective on how we perceive events, cautioning us against labeling them as good or bad. He argues that these labels are not inherent qualities of the events themselves, but rather mental constructs that we, as observers, impose upon them. When we adopt a disciplined mindset, we free ourselves from these limiting judgments. Do not regret what you have done. Guilt can indeed serve as a helpful emotion, acting as a signal that alerts us when we've crossed an ethical line. For instance, if you've said something rude and hurt someone, feeling guilty is natural and even constructive. It shows you care about the impact of your actions and offers a chance for self-correction. However, it's essential to distinguish between guilt and regret. Guilt is an emotional response that provides useful information, helping us adjust our behavior for the future. Regret, on the other hand, is a mental state that doesn't serve us. It hovers over our thoughts like a cloud, taking up valuable mental space and hindering discipline. Miyamoto Musashi didn't have the luxury to dwell on regret. He had to focus on the present moment and the actions that would keep him alive. To maintain discipline, it's crucial to keep our minds free from distractions. Regret is one such distraction that can compromise effective decision-making. Instead of getting stuck in a cycle of regret, which often leads to feelings of helplessness, we should focus on taking proactive steps to remedy the situation. For Musashi, the location was secondary to the discipline and mindset he carried within himself. Whether he was in a peaceful temple or a chaotic battlefield, his inner state remained unshaken. Many of us might believe that a simple change of location will magically solve all our problems, leading to a happily ever after scenario, but Musashi challenges this notion. He urges us to understand that the key to contentment isn't tied to a specific location. It's more about our mindset and how we engage with life. Happiness, at its core, is an internal state of mind. Sure, a new place might offer a temporary boost in mood, but if you're not fundamentally content or aligned with your life's purpose, that initial happiness will likely fade, and you'll find yourself back at square one. This echoes the words of Confucius, who said, "No matter where you go, there you are." Musashi also prepares us for life's unpredictability. If we're on a path of self-improvement or seeking mastery in any field, we might end up in places we never saw coming. These changes go beyond just our physical location. They are tests of our mental and emotional strength. Instead of focusing on where we are, Musashi proposes that we consider how adaptable, resilient, and committed we are to our goals. These are the qualities that will help us thrive, no matter where life takes us. To know 10,000 things, know one well. Miyamoto Musashi's timeless wisdom resonates even in today's world, where we're faced with an overwhelming number of career paths and endless options. It's common to feel drawn to multiple interests, whether it's sports, computers, or art, leading us to dabble in various fields. Having a wide range of interests isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, this can sometimes lead to what's known as the shiny object syndrome, where people jump from one new and trendy idea to another, abandoning each as soon as something else catches their eye. Musashi took a different approach. He devoted his life to mastering the art of the sword day in and day out. He trained tirelessly. However, it's easy to forget that he was also an accomplished artist, a cerebral philosopher, and a master strategist. With this, we can argue that knowing one way doesn't mean limiting yourself to one pursuit. It emphasizes the importance of focused discipline and mastering one thing at a time and dedicating our full time and attention to this one thing until we master it. By doing so, we now know one way. By extensively learning a skill and experiencing the entirety of what that is, we start seeing patterns, which will help us learn other skills as well. In Musashi's case, his strategy was largely based on the patterns he learned from dueling his opponents and applying them on a larger scale. In modern days, this can be illustrated by the resilience we gain by learning how to be adaptable in anything we do. It's the ability to learn how to learn. If you know how to study for one exam, you'll know how to study for the rest. Or if you know how to adapt in the workplace, you'll be able to handle any task you're assigned to. But it all starts with learning one way first, so that you can later know 1,000. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Considering that Miyamoto Musashi was a samurai, a warrior who always faced life or death situations, this principle likely held significant weight in his own life. Separations are a natural and unavoidable part of being human, whether it's the loss of a loved one, moving to a new place, or simply taking different paths in life. These moments of separation will come. For example, imagine you have to move to a different city to chase a career opportunity or to follow a dream. In this case, you'll be leaving behind friends and family, which is tough. But according to Musashi, the discipline lies in managing those emotions, acknowledging the sadness, but not letting it deter you from your path. The concept of separation also extends to material possessions. Let's say you're attached to your car or your smartphone. If these items were taken away, would you lose your sense of self? Musashi warns against such attachments, suggesting that they can become a form of emotional bondage. The discipline here is in detachment, understanding that while you can enjoy things, they shouldn't own you emotionally. Never be jealous. You might be wondering, What's the connection between jealousy and discipline? Miyamoto Musashi's teachings often target the barriers that prevent us from being disciplined, and jealousy is undoubtedly one of them. Imagine scrolling through social media and seeing a friend who has just landed their dream job or is traveling to exotic places. It's easy to feel a pang of jealousy, thinking you're missing out or not achieving enough. But here's the thing. Jealousy distracts you from focusing on your own path and self-improvement. Consider if Musashi had spent his time being jealous of other swordsmen. Would he have become the legendary warrior we know today? Highly unlikely. In the samurai world, where life and death were separated by the thinnest of margins, there was no room for such distractions. Musashi focused on honing his own skills, perfecting his art, and understanding his own strengths and weaknesses. Jealousy would have been a waste of precious time and energy, resources that he could otherwise invest in becoming the best version of himself. And just like Musashi, you can't afford to squander your focus and allow yourself to get distracted by what others are doing, especially in the age of social media. Maintaining our discipline is more crucial than ever. So when jealousy tries to divert your attention, remember Musashi's unwavering focus and commitment to his craft. Use that as fuel to invest in yourself and become the greatest samurai in your own field. As we conclude our exploration of Miyamoto Musashi's teachings on discipline, we are reminded of the timeless wisdom that guides us on our own paths to mastery. Musashi's life serves as a beacon of inspiration, illuminating the transformative power of discipline, focus, and resilience. In a world filled with distractions and uncertainties, it is our unwavering commitment to self-improvement and inner strength that will ultimately lead us to greatness. Like Musashi, let us embrace the journey of self-discovery, recognizing that true mastery begins with the mastery of oneself. And so, as we embark on our own quest for excellence, let us heed the words of wisdom from the ancient sage Lao Tzu. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. With these words in our hearts, may we navigate the currents of life with grace, resilience, and wisdom. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and enlightenment.